Hey everybody, welcome back. I am bored. COVID has made me bored, and today I'm gonna play Devil May Cry Bloody Palace, the board game. This is based on the Devil May Cry, video game, Devil May Cry 4 or 5, I'm not sure, published by Steamforged Games, and it is the Bloody Palace mode of Devil May Cry. I've never played Devil May Cry before, so I don't really have much of the history or lore of this video game. I think this was the first Devil May Cry was right around that time of Resident Evil, and the idea behind this game was sort of a demon hunter. Dante was the primary character at the time, battling demons, and ultimately the combat system was sort of a point style system. It's not good enough just to slay demons, but you have to do it with style. And as you're playing, you are earning style points, and ultimately you're trying to get the highest style point for bragging rights. And their attacks and weapons that they use have a wide variety of finishers and combos, and they've got a multitude of tactics and techniques. And I think what makes the video game, because I didn't know, and I've never played Devil May Cry, I actually had to watch it online and see what the gameplay was like. And it's quick-paced. You're just hacking and slashing your way through different demons, making it your way to the end boss. The Bloody Palace mode of this video game, I think it's Devil May Cry 5, is kind of like sort of a horde mode or firefight mode, if you're a Halo person, or just an onslaught of demons, and you progress through 100 levels to get to a final showdown with a big boss, and your ultimate goal is to create the longest attack chain and earn the highest style points. And again, it's more for bragging rights. So this game is based on that particular mode. So there's no story, there's no campaign, there's no missions. All it is a series of levels that you play, and each level gets harder. You're not playing 100 levels because that would take forever. You choose 4 levels, up to 4 levels, or a maximum 4 levels, and your final 4th level always ends with the same confrontation boss. This is the core box. It's not the Kickstarter, and I don't have any of the expansions because I wanted to try this out first. And the concept is pretty straightforward. You set up the board depending on the cards that you draw. You set up the boards with the demons, and on your turn you can move, you can play cards to do attacks. Your cards act as both your attack cards and your defense, so they serve dual purpose. There are 4 different characters. There's Dante, Nero, Trish, and V. I've played with each of them, and they all actually behave quite differently. Their cards are different from each other. Some excel in certain areas like close range attacks or close combat attacks or ranged attacks. V actually works very uniquely in terms of the way he uses his, demon buddy. I'm not sure how to call him. And the gameplay is pretty straightforward. I'll be playing this solo, and even at solo, the game progresses. It can take up to 90 minutes to complete the game. There's a bit of, I think that's one of the gripes and complaints, is the type of game that it's supposed to be, which is sort of a hack and slash. You'd assume it would go faster, but it does take some time, and I'll go through the playthrough. So, nice cover shot of the front by Capcom Games. The artwork is pretty nice. I like it. And as you can see, this is the board layout. You only get one board because this is basically in the Bloody Palace mode of the video game. This is exactly kind of what it looks like. You're at the top of a mountain and it's a hellhole. And aliens demons are spawning from that, and you're just constantly wiping out the demons one at a time. During the initial setup, you have your player board. You choose your character. In this case, I've chosen Dante. He has a health of 8 and a movement of 5. And you'll see this sort of interesting grid layout, a hexagon layout. This indicates his front attack range. And one of the unique things about this game, and I'll show you his character, he's a pretty cool sculpt. Let me see if I can get it in focus here. There we go. What's interesting is if you look, all the characters are sitting on a hexagon base. And of the 6 sides, 3 of the sides, you'll see, 3 of the sides, there's this lip. And this indicates his front arc. And positioning and the way you're facing makes a difference in this game. And you'll see as I play through, the cards that you play will dictate the type of damage you inflict based on your position. So when you're moving, what's interesting is you also want to think about not only where you're moving, but how you want to end your move. At the end of your move, you can choose a face, basically a direction in which you want your character to face and where you want their front arc to aim. So I'm going to start him right here. And when you're doing the setup for the levels, you are choosing 4 levels. You'll first have a start card, and because I'm a 1 player, you have a 1 player start card. There's 2 of these cards to choose from, so you can kind of randomize it. And there's also, for each other player count, so 2 player, 3 player, and 4 player, there are 2 cards each for the setup. So you can kind of randomize it. Then you'll have a level 1. So for single player, it indicates sort of, or highlights, this particular level is best suited for single player. So you would choose, there are 3 level 1 cards, you would choose one of them. Then you would choose, as a solo player, level 2. You'll see that it's level 2 is best suited for single and 2 player. So there's 3 of these cards, you choose one of them. And then our final card, our final 4th level, is the boss. And you can see that it's supposed to be for all player counts. So as an example, if you look at the floor, not the 4 player, right here, the 3rd level, you'll see the 3rd level card indicates that it's best for 2 or 3 players. And there are 4 of these cards that you can choose from. And then the level 4 cards is best suited for 3 or 4 players. And there's also a level 5. So if you're playing solo, unless you really want a crazy challenge, you'll never really play level 3, 4, or 5 unless you have more players on the board. And the real difference between each level is the number of demons that are on the board and the type of demons. Obviously, the more players, the more demons, and some of the demons are a little bit more stronger. And that's to create sort of balance the player count. So it scales well in that sense. However, I find that as a solo player, when I'm playing my start player card, I actually find that if you look at it, there's 4 demons. It tells you the type of demon that you put out, and it gives you any special conditions, which is achievement cards or challenge cards. And one of the things I find is if you want to increase the difficulty, I would bump it up 1. So I would actually, if I wanted to make it more challenging, I would actually do a 2-player start. So I'm not using 2 players, but I would have more demons on the board. It makes it a bit more challenging. And I think at most I might start with a level 2 and then level 3 and then a boss. So there's a little bit of flexibility in the way you can design the difficulty. So I've got the red Impuzas. I've picked out their character card. So they have 7 health. Sorry. yeah, 7 health each, and they drop when they are when you kill them, they drop 3 orbs. And orbs are sort of your currency in this game. As you collect orbs at the end of the round, you can use them to collect or upgrade your deck. There's a little bit of deck building in this game as well. And it gives you any special conditions. In this case, when you play their card, they act as a whole, as a group. They also come with their behavior cards. So you would shuffle it, and on their turn, you would draw a card which dictates their behavior movement. So this is sort of the AI component. This is a semi-cooperative game. If you have more than one player, ultimately you are working together to defeat the demons, and the end goal is to earn style points. The style points are tracked along the edge of the board, and you can exceed 100. It goes up to 100 here, but you can exceed it and you just continue along the path. You'll notice that true to the style of the video game, you have your style ranking. Dismal, crazy, badass. I forgot what A stands for. I have a reference here somewhere. Let me just quickly double check so I can tell you. Apocalyptic, A is apocalyptic, savage, 6 skills, and smokin' sexy style. A true Japanese-based game. For your player, in addition to their player card, you have your deck of action cards that you'll draw. You draw up to a hand of 5. And as an example, you can take a look at the format of one of the cards. It gives you the name of the card, the character that this card belongs to. You'll see that there is sort of a link that goes in and out. This is how you string your combos. You can only connect cards left to right based on the same color of the previous card. So the yellow is usually indicates a starting, and you'll notice on my player board over here, I have a starting color chain of yellow, and that's where you begin. In this situation here, this can be any color, but in another situation here, you'll see that in order for me to play this card, I need to have played previously a card that ended with a red link out, so that I have the red link in, and I would have to continue a red link out chain. So what's interesting about this is as you draw your hand, you do need to think about how you can play your cards together, the kind of combos you can tie together, and the different symbols on the card to help augment your attack. So in this situation here, you'll notice that the centerpiece is always, the center hexagon is always you, and it shows the front arc. That is your face. And you'll notice that if I sort of draw Dante here, you'll see that if there's a demon adjacent to me at the very peak or on this side of my front arc, I would issue them 1 damage. If they were on this side or behind me, there is no damage issued. So when you play your card, you also have to consider which way you're facing and where the demon is relative to your facing. There is a bit of strategy and planning involved when you play this. The 3 symbols up here, which are not highlighted right now, if they are highlighted, it means you get to move forward, you get to stun, or you get to push. So pushing means that you actually, during your attack, you would push them forward to one adjacent space away from you. Moving, the left symbol here, which is moving, you would move into the space that you just pushed them from, and stun would be at the end of your attack, you would leave a stun token. And depending on the character, 1 stun token may be enough to prevent them from activating during their turn, and at the end of that round, they would remove their stun token. You also start, so this is your deck that you would draw from, and you also start with a set of basic attack cards, and you always have these attack cards available to you. And they are listed here. The symbol is slightly different, shown down here. This tells you that it belongs to Dante, and this is his starting cards. When you are playing your cards, you will be linking them together based on their in and out links. And at a certain point during your turn, you can claim the combo chain that you have. And based on the number of cards you have, it will earn you style points. And that is shown here. I'll get the other player board. It is shown right here, the combo chain. So if you have, starting with 4 cards in your chain, you can earn 1 point. And you'll see that as you increase the number of cards in your chain, you earn more points. When you earn points, you'll take your character token and you will be moving them along the edge of this board to earn your style and keep track of your style points. If at any time during your combo chain, if you are attacked and you have not claimed your combo, you lose all your cards in that chain and you'd have to start over. So there's a bit of tactic and strategy to try to create the longest chain possible, but at the same time weigh the risk of avoiding attacks or taking attacks to keep that chain alive, or risk losing it all. When you're playing your cards in your hand, you'll also see these 2 symbols down here. These 2 symbols mean if you discard this card, you earn 2 additional movement points. And if you, during your defensive round, if you discard this card, you can negate or block 1 damage attack. So this is where the cards have sort of a multi-purpose, and it's actually pretty innovative in terms of the way that you handle it. Okay, so the beginning round usually starts with the hunter phase, which is Dante, and the player's turn, and then after his turn is complete, you would activate any of the enemies that are on the board one at a time, resolving their card effects and resolving their attack. Usually, depending on if you're playing with more than one person, you would have a first player marker, which between rounds gets passed between one player to the next. And basically what that allows the person holding this first player marker to do is to do the initiation for the enemy, the demon turn. So they control where the demons move, because demons in their behavior deck will say move to the closest hunter, and you can move according to what you feel. So each player gets an opportunity to control the movements of the demons. And you can move them based on what you want to do, your advantage of trying to get more orbs by having demons closer to you and perform bigger attacks, or move them closer to the other player and try to screw them over. When you take enough damage below your health, you are removed from the board. When you're removed from the board, you discard your hand and you get knocked down from wherever your marker is on the style tracker to the previous level. So for example, if I was here in apocalyptic, I'm at 40. If I die, I wouldn't go to the beginning of the apocalyptic stage. I'd get bumped down all the way down to B, which is badass, so 25. So each time you die, you get knocked down a full grade. Okay, so enough talking as it is. We're going to go ahead and start this playthrough, and you'll see as I play the way to chain combos. And I think I've seen a couple gameplays online, and there was always this uncertainty in terms of how you handle your combo chain. So hopefully this video I've got the rules right, but if not, it's okay. The point is to have fun. So I'm drawing a hand of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I've got my basic attack area. I have this at my disposal at any time. Whenever I claim a combo chain, I have to discard the cards, earn my points, but any of my basic attack cards always go back into this area. So I believe the process is I get to go first. And I'm going to go ahead, and you're going to see I have a bunch of cards here, all with different values. So one of the things too is to note is you may or may not want to play all your cards, even if you can. In this case, I could probably play all my cards. If you play all your cards, you will not have any cards in your hand during the demon activation phase. And these cards, remember, they also act as defense cards. So you take a big chance by not having any cards in your hands, even though you want to try to create the longest chain. So we're going to go ahead and start, and let's see. I'm going to start with one of the cards from my basic attack area. This is the Ebony and Ivory Volley. I get to move 1 hex before making this attack. So I'm going to put that here in my chain, start my chain. Given the space of the board, you're going to see that I won't have enough room. So actually I might just play it right here, just so I can show you. I'll play it right here. That's my first card. And I can play this card even though it's not yellow, because gray means any color. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is a, because you see this little symbol, this is a ranged shot. He's using his gun to do a ranged shot. And when you're taking shots, it's the closest character. So I'm going to move 1. I'm going to move this way. And when you move, at the end of your movement, you can choose your facing. So I'm going to give this guy a hit. So I'm using dice to keep track of damage. They normally give you these damage tokens. And I find that the board can get pretty chaotic when you have so many demons on the board, and they start to clutter in. So that's my first shot. I'm going to take this one now. I'm going to do another Ebony and Ivory Volley. And I'm going to move again facing him. He takes 2. He has a total health of 7. And then I'm going to start my chain, which is you always have to start with this yellow. So I can't play this card from here because it doesn't work like that. You're always starting with the yellow. So I'm going to play this combo chain, and I chose blue because most of my cards here are blue. Okay, so this does 1 damage, so now he's at 3. And because that damage is on the front of my arc, and I'm facing this way, he takes the damage. And then I'm going to go ahead and I might be able to finish him off here. So I'm going to play this card, which is my Rebellion Sweep. Now you'll see that if I had a demon here and a demon here, I would give them each 2 damage. But I only have the 1 demon at the front of my arc, so he's going to take 2. So now he's at 5. Okay. And I'll go ahead and play this card, which is Rebellion Strike, and this will end him. Now, you could play this Rebellion Slam, which is a finisher card, and you'll see that there's no exit link. And it says, you must claim your combo after playing this card. When you do, double the style points that you score. So if I were to play this, he would take an additional 3 damage. That would put him over 7. He would die. I would claim my combo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And based on the chart, that would give me 2 points times 2 because of this. I would get 4 points. But I'm not going to play that. I'm going to hold on to it. Instead, I will... Also, when you play this card, this does not count as claiming your combo on your own. This is a card-induced claiming combo, so there is potential for you to claim more than once. You are only allowed to claim a maximum of once when you initiate the combo claim. But if a card tells you to claim the combo, you can still self-initiate a combo claim if you haven't already. So I'm going to play this card, Rebellion Strike. So you'll see that at the end of this attack, he would be stunned, but 3 more hits on him, he's going to die anyways. So he's dead. So I'm going to take him off the board. And when I do that, he's going to drop, based on his character card, 3 orbs. So usually red orbs. So the token for orbs are double-sided. Green for health, red for regular orbs. And he would normally drop one orb into each adjacent space. So I consider Dante adjacent, so he would pick up an orb. We'll just keep that on the player board. Okay, so I still have 2 cards left. I can play this one, which is Strategize. I can discard this card to go through my deck or discard pile and add it to my hand. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to discard this card. And what I'm looking for is I'm going to look for a card that probably gives me the most defense, which might be Rising Dragon. Or Hellbreaker. Helmbreaker. I'll take Helmbreaker because I have a defense of 3. So I'm going to put that into my hand. I'll shuffle my deck. Okay. So now I have these 2 cards in my hand. My option right now is I could claim the combo if I wanted to. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would get me 2 points. But I'm going to take a chance. I'm not going to claim it, and I'm going to leave it here for now. Okay, so we'll just tie these a little closer together. Now normally it would be off on this side, off my player board, but because I'm short on space, I can't keep it within camera view. Then I at least want to let you see what a combo chain looks like. So now I have not moved yet. So I did my attack, but I did not move. I have 5 movement point values. So I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to move down to this corner. And when I do, I have picked up these 2 orbs at the same time. Orbs are important because you'll need them if you want to upgrade your deck. Okay, so my turn has effectively finished. If you were playing with more than one person, the next player would take their turn. But I have no more hunters on the board to take turns, so now it is the red and Puza to take their turn. They act as a group, so I will draw from their behavior deck. And this is Claw Swipe. Each red and Puza that is adjacent to a hunter turns to face them and makes this attack. There are no adjacent hunters, and you can see here that even they have a front arc. And if I take, well, this guy, you'll see that he has a raised lip as well. And forward facing, any hunter immediately in front of him would take 3 damage. Any hunters beside him would take 1. No damage on the back. But because I have no hunters adjacent, they will follow this, move each other red and Puza 2 hexes towards the nearest hunter. So we played that card. This one's going to move 2 hexes. 1, 2 towards the nearest hunter. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. So one of the comments I have to make, especially about this start card or the start level for one player, is there is a lot of space. So one of the things I've noticed about this is that it's very easy for me to play and avoid any damage simply by moving as far as possible, leaving my movement as my last action and moving far away. Typically the Impuzas move to a maximum of, I think, 3. So I'm always out of range, and they are not the type to do ranged attacks. There are other demons that do ranged attacks, but I found that at least for the start level, it's quite easy to pass. I've had to increase that by going to the 2-player start card, just to provide less movement space. When you have more players on the board, there's a lot less space to move, so you're not as lucky. So I haven't really experienced that yet. I am forgetting one aspect of the game which I forgot to include. They are the achievement cards. So achievement cards are extra bonus points that you earn depending on certain conditions that you meet. So in this setup, we will draw 2 achievement cards, and if I meet those conditions, I will earn. You're allowed to claim 1 achievement card per turn, or per hunter activation, I guess. So I'm going to draw 2. So this one I can't use. It says in the rules that I can't use the challenging one. Other ones do use challenging, so I'm going to discard that one. I'll draw another one. And that one's another challenging. Let's see, here we go. So we got a crowd controller. and Stylish Fighter. So claim this if there are at least 6 cards in your combo chain. I might be able to do that next round. Claim this if you hit at least 4 different enemies with melee attacks during your turn. So I will leave these up here. I don't know if you can see them. Okay. And the demons have taken their turn. It is now my turn, and now I draw up to a hand of 5. 4, 5. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is at the end phase, and here we go. So now I can continue. So if you notice, I haven't claimed my combo. I can actually continue with my chain, and I didn't take any damage. Within 4 hexes, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to find something that gives me some movement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to discard this card, and when I discard this card, I gain 1 movement. So I discard this card for 1 movement. I'll move here, and I'll face this way. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to play this card, which is Coyote A Shot, and I do a range shot for 2 damage. The target must be within 4 hexes of the Dante, and I would deal damage to each enemy adjacent to the target. There are none. So I play this one. He'll take 2. I'm going to play this one again. He takes another 2. Oops. Okay. Now, this basically, the silver color, it's not that it goes with any color. My words were incorrect. It is a continuation of the previous color. So when I played this first one, it's silver linking with yellow, which means it becomes yellow and it will go straight through. So the blue exits blue, goes into the silver, which now becomes blue all the way across, which continues blue all the way across. Okay, so I am going to do my movement. Okay, so I'm going to do my movement. I'm going to move 5. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Once you've finished your movement, any unused movement, you cannot continue using it. So once I've determined I'm done here, I can't say play a card and then finish my last 2 movement points. Once you've completed your move, whether you use up all your movement points or not, it's done. Now I'm going to play Rebellion Slam. This is a finisher because there's no exit chain, and it gives me 3 at my front arc because I'm facing him. That will be 7. That will be enough to destroy him. And I'm going to play this. So he'll come off the board. He's dead. I drop 1, 2, and I give myself 1 because it comes into my space. And now I claim this combo. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 cards, which gives me 6 style points. But because I played the finisher, it doubles it. It means I get 12. So I move my character token up to level 12. Once I've done that, I claim all my cards. They go into the discard pile except for any basic attack cards. So there's 1 and there's 2. Those go back into my basic attack area so that they are always available to me at the end of a claimed combo. So let's just say I had more cards or a few more cards to play. I can actually start another combo if I wanted to. I can actually start if there were another demon. I've been playing Doom too much, so now I'm used to using alien. But I'm not going to. The only thing is if you started another chain, you can't claim it on your turn unless you had a card that claimed it. In this situation, I could, because this was my claim through a card activation. So I could play another set of cards, and then I could self-initiate a claim, and then that would be it. I wouldn't be able to do it again. But I'm not. I'm going to ease up here. I've made all my movements. I've done my attacks. It is now the Impuza's turn. So they get to go. This is move each red and Puza 3 hexes towards your hunter, and then shuffle this card at the bottom of the deck. So we're going to shuffle that. They're going to move 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So they're closing in, but they're not attacking. So I'm going to shuffle the behavior deck. Oh, and I forgot to say, on my last turn, I get to claim this because I had 6 cards in my combo chain. So this is the one that you sort of hold off onto the side, and at the end of the game, you would tally up all your achievement cards, add them to your total, and that would be your final style score. So I'm done. I'm going to hold on to this. I'm going to draw up to 4, or sorry, 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. And now it is my turn. So let's see here. Not a whole lot I can do, but we can try. I'll keep this one. Okay. So I'm going to start off with my ebony and ivory volley again. I get to move 1 hex. So I'm going to move right here. I pick up this orb. So now I have 5, and I choose my facing, which is I'm facing him. Let me just take these out and replace it with a 5. One of the slowdowns regarding this game is that you constantly have to put down orbs, collect orbs, make change, put down damage, calculate damage. So there's a lot of board management, and that's what actually eats up into the time. Okay, let's see here. So I played that, which means this guy right here gets 1 damage. Another thing to note, ranged shots, even if you're sitting beside them or adjacent, they still count. So I'm going to start with, I'll start with the Rebellion Swing. So front arc, at the very peak of my arc, I get to do 1 damage. You know what? It's all right. I'm going to play this over here so you guys can see. Okay, I am continuing the yellow, and it's going into blue. He takes another hit. And then I'll play this card, which allows me to do 2 damage to the front. So he'll have 4. And I knocked him back 1, and I follow up 1. When you do follow up, you can't choose your facing. As far as I understand, you just go right into that spot. Okay, and now I'm going to play this ebony ivory for another hit. So he's at 5. And then that's it. So now I'm going to move 5 because I haven't made my movement yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to move over here. So I picked up this orb. So as you can see, I do my attacks, save my movement for the last action, and I move away. That ends my turn. I'm not claiming my combo. And it's a combo of 4. Okay. So now it is the Red and Puza's turn. Here we go. Each Red and Puza that is adjacent to a hunter turns to face them and makes his attack. Otherwise, move each hunter, then move each Red and Puza 2 hexes towards the nearest hunter. So, nobody adjacent. Move 2 hexes. 1, 2. 1, 2. And there we go. So I'm going to, at the end phase, I can discard any cards I want. So I'm not going to be using red, so I'm going to discard that. But I'm going to keep this one because I like the defense on it. I'm going to draw up to my hand of 5. Beautiful. I have a lot of blues here. There we go. Okay. So now it's my turn again. So, oof. Let's see. I'm going to discard this card for one movement. And I'm going to move in one, like this. Actually, you know what? Sorry, no. I'm going to, yeah, no, I'll keep that one. I'm fine. And then I'm going to discard Balrog, kick, for another movement. And I'm going to move right here. I'm going to face him. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, oh, they're the same. Do Rebellion right cut. So he's right in front of me. He takes 2 damage, which is 7. So this guy's dead. Now, one of the conflicting issues here is I killed him. Do I still knock back and move in? You assess damage first, and then you do the follow-up. So I didn't knock anything back, so I don't follow up with anything. So that's how I'm reading the rules, and that's how I'm playing it. So that demon dropped in an orb. Okay, 3 orbs, and I pick up 1. Oops. When you pick up a green orb, I believe it heals up 3 health. Okay, so now I'm going to try my luck here. I'm going to use my movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to just move here. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm moving here. On my way, I picked up 2 orbs. Okay. I'm hopefully far enough from him. Now I'm going to play the taunt card. When you play this card, it ends your turn immediately. While the card is in your combo, you cannot dodge. When you claim the combo, you score 3 additional style points. So I'm going to play that. So my turn immediately ends. Okay. So now we go into the Red Impuza's turn. Move each Red Impuza 3 hexes towards the nearest hunter, then make the attack. So he's going to turn and move. Well, he's going to move 1, 2, 3, turn to face. I guess he'll just face this way. It has to be, I have to be adjacent, so he does not make that attack. So I was lucky. And had I not been able to, if he actually reached me, I would have been able to dodge 1 if I discarded this, but I would take 1 damage and I would lose all. Actually, I can't. Sorry, I can't even dodge. I can't even play this card. I would just lose my combo. Okay, so that ends my turn. I'm going to drop to my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a lot of reds, which is no good to me, but that's okay. So, well, it seems pretty straightforward what I want to do here. I'm going to discard this card for 1 movement point. Actually, do I need to? Yeah, I'm going to just do it. I'll discard this card for 1 movement point. I'm moving in to face him. I am going to play this card for 2 damage on him, and I push him and move in. So he gets 2 damage, push, follow, and then I'm going to play this finisher. Okay, so I'm playing this finisher, and this will give him 3 damage, so he's at 5. It will push him, and it will stun him. Right there. Okay? Now, because I played the finisher, I need to claim my combo. I double my points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 cards plus 3 style points. So that's 11. That was a pretty big one. 11 points. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plus, so 8 would give me, 6 points plus 3, which is 9, and I double it, which gives me 18. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 points plus 3, 9 points. Double it, 18 points. So here's an example of a huge hit of 18 points. right? 3 style points, 18. But it only goes up to a maximum of 10, so I actually get 10 style points. No, sorry. I have 3 additional style points when you do double the style point score. Yeah, 6. Sorry, my math is really bad today. 8 cards, 6 points, 9 points, 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I am now at 30. I claim the cards, okay? The only ones I keep are my starter cards. These ones, and the rest get discarded. Okay, and I'm back here. I have 2 cards left to play. Now, I can actually continue. I can actually continue this. My turn's not over, I still have cards to play, and I can go back to my basic attack area. This is one thing I noticed in the solo playthrough through one of the videos, was that the person playing seemed to believe that once you claim it, that's it, you're done. But no, I can continue. First of all, I did the claim via card, not as a self-initiated action. So now I'm going to play my Ebony and Ivory Volley. I move up to 1 hex, and I will. He takes a shot, he gets 6, okay? Then I'll start off with my Balrog Strike. It gives 2, so he's dead. And even if I didn't do anything, the Empusa was stunned, so I would still be able to move or avoid an attack. So I get 1, he drops in 2. So now I have a total of 10. I have 10 orbs, and that immediately finishes this stage. This stage is complete. I do not need to claim this. I can keep this in my play area until till next time. So I will choose to keep these cards in my hand, and then beginning of the next stage, I will drop to a hand of 5. And I'm basically continuing where I left off. So, but because I've killed the Empusa and no more enemies on the board, it immediately goes to the end. Even though I didn't use my movement, I cannot move to collect these orbs. So that's done. So I look at the number of orbs I have. I have 10 orbs. And for Dante, Dante has a set of cards that you can upgrade by purchasing them with the number of orbs. Every card has a orb cost, and you basically go through it and you basically buy up until the amount that you have. You put them in your deck, you shuffle it, and you're practically deck building at this point. So I'm going to take, I have 10, right? So I'm going to take Charge Blast. It's a range for 4. So that's for 3. I will take this one. Discard this card when Dante suffers any damage to ignore all damage and move up to 2 hexes. So that's 5. I have 5 more to spend. I'll do this one. That's 7. I have 3 left to spend. 3 left. I have 1 left to spend. Is there anything here for 1 point? I thought there was. There we go. Rebellion Strike. Okay, there we go. So I've purchased, using my orbs, let's clear these out of the way. These cards, they're going to go into my deck. I'm give it a good shuffle. So now I reshuffle my deck. And prepare myself for the next round. Okay, and if there was another player at this stage, I would give them the first player marker. So they would be the ones to start their turn and also control the demon action or movements. Okay, so I'm keeping these 2 cards because I'm currently in a red chain, and I'm going to drop to my hand 1 and 5. Okay, and I'm going to take the Empusa off the board for now because that is no longer applicable. And here's where we discard the stage, and we are now starting the level 1 stage. So the level 1 stage tells me what I need, which is a riot and 4 Impuzas in this layout. This layout, in terms of orientation, you'll see that there are 2 markers, the demon marker and the hunter marker, which lines up with this and this, so you know the orientation of the board. That way you're not confused if it's this way or whatever, and that way you can tell which way the Impuzas are facing. So I'm going to get that set up, and I will continue this playthrough. Okay, we're continuing on to level 1, and as you move and complete from one stage to the next stage, nothing gets reset in terms of your position. I am in the exact same position I was at the end of the starter level, and even the cards that I played that I did not claim, they are still on the board. What I've done now is I've spawned a new set, Riots and Impuzas. You can take a look at the Riot. He's pretty cool looking, and he's considered a large figure. So it immediately goes into the hunter's turn, and I've got 2 new achievement cards as well as the character cards. So from my end of the last stage, I drew my hand already, so I've got my 5 cards, and I can continue the chain of cards that I had. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to play this card. I'm going to move 1 hex, face this direction, I collect that, I give this guy a hit, and I'm going to discard this card for 1 movement, which moves me here. I'm going to discard this card for 1 movement, which moves me here. And I'm going to play Belrug Kick for 2 hits on him. So he's at 3. He gets pushed back, and I follow, and he is stunned. That leaves me with 1 card left. So I'm going to play this one. And I will... Actually, you know what? I'm not going to play this card. I'm going to hold on to this card, and I'm going to move to this side. Actually, right here. So I'm holding onto this card, and I'm not going to claim my combo. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to take a chance here. Okay. So now we start with the Impuzas. We shuffled their cards, claw swipe. Each Impuza that is adjacent to a hunter turns to face them and makes its attack. Move each other Impuza 2 hexes towards the nearest hunter. So this one, because he's stunned, he doesn't move. So at the end of this activation, I will remove the stun. This one's going to move in 2, 1, 2. This one will move in 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. So that's it. So this Impuza did nothing because he was stunned. And now it's the Riot's turn. The Riot is going to move 5 hexes towards the nearest hunter, then make this attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he moves here. He's not within range because it's a close, and you'll see that in his front arc, his is actually a larger arc because of his size, and he would be doing 3 damage. So I'm just going to move these out of the way here. There we go. So that ends the turn. I did not get attacked. I drop to my hand. And I can continue. So I'm going to go ahead and going to discard this card to go through my deck for a card. So let's see here. What card do I want? Potentially a red one. Either a red or the Charged Blast. Let's see what do I have here. Not too many reds, so I'm going to take the Charged Blast. I'm going to take the Charged Blast. my hand. Sorry, I'm going to shuffle my deck. Oops. Okay. And let's continue. So I'm going to play this one. After making this a move, after making this attack, move up to 2 hexes and make this attack again. So I'm going to make the attack on him, which gives him 4. And I'll move up to 2 hexes. 1, 2. So he's 4, right? Or should I? No, you know what? I'll just leave that. I will move up to, so I was here, I move up 1 hex up to 2. I'll just stay there. I make the attack again for another one, so he's at 5. And then I am going to sure. I'm going to play Charge Blast. Charge Blast would kill him and give this guy 2. So he's killed. He drops an orb, and 2 orbs, I take 1. And then I want to, I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to move here and claim this orb. Okay. And then I'll claim my combo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 cards in my combo chain, which gives me 3 points. 1, 2, 3. So I claim it. I take back my 2 basics. The rest get discarded in my discard pile. And now I am going to continue here by doing Ebony Ivory, Volley. I can move up to 1 hex before making this attack. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I take this one back. I'm going to start with Rebellion Swing. I start with Rebellion Swing. He takes 1. Okay. And then, this is not exactly what I wanted to do. That's okay. I'll play this card, give him 2. And then I play this card. So it's kind of a waste. I can move up to 1 hex before attacking. So I move here. And then that's fine. It doesn't make a big difference. I play this card to give him 3, so he's at 5. He gets pushed forward and he gets stunned. And I have to claim this combo. I double the points, but with a chain of 3, you get 0 points. So I kind of wasted that, but that's okay. So I reclaim my basic attacks. And I'm going to do, that's it. So now we do the Impuzas. Claw Swipe. Each Impuza that is adjacent to a hunter turns to face them and makes its attack, then move each other Impuza 2 hexes towards the nearest hunter. So 1, 2, 1, 2. This one doesn't move, so he clears his stun token. And that's it. And now we do the Riot. Oh, move the Riot 6 hexes towards the nearest hunter, then it makes this attack. So when it's moving, pivoting counts as a move. So he pivots, that counts as 1. So he'd be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I am in his front arc, and I take 4. So I'm going to discard these cards. So Dante has a special ability, which is Royal Guard style. When you discard any number of cards to dodge damage, you add 1 to the total amount of damage you dodge. So if I'm going to discard this one and discard this, I get a total of 3, plus the 1 from Royal Guard. That's 4. I negated all of that. So if I had a long combo, I would have prevented losing that combo just by having that card or keeping those cards on hand. So if you notice that how you play your cards is very important, balancing attacks versus keeping cards for defense. So now that is the end of the phase, so I'm drawing up to my hand. One, two, three, four, five, and now it's my turn. Okay, let's see. Well, it's an interesting mix, but I think I'll go with blue. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start off with Rebellion Swing. So I start off with Rebellion Swing, and I'm going to go for the Riot, and he's going to take 1. For the single characters, there's only 1 Riot. I use their damage tokens on their card. That's how I keep track. Otherwise, he has a health of 25. I'd have like 5 dice, 4 or 5 dice right beside him. It'd be too messy. So then I'm going to play Ebony and Ivory basic. I get to move 1 hex before making this attack. I will move, let's see, I'll move right here. And then he takes another hit. And then I'm going to play Rebellion Cut Right. So my front arc takes 2 damage. He's going to take 2. So he's going to have 4 damage now. And he gets pushed back. And I follow up. Okay. So I'm going to discard this card for a movement point, and that movement point will be used to pivot and face. Then I'm going to play this card, Rebellion Strike, for 3 damage on him, on the Riot, and he gets a stun token. Now, he needs 3 stun tokens before he's actually stunned. So he has 1 right now. Between rounds, he does not lose the stun token. He only clears a stun token once he actually has been stunned. And now I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And move up here. I pick up this orb. And let's see, I'm going to hold on to this. And that ends my turn. I'm not claiming my combo. Let's see what happens. Move each Impuza 3 hexes towards the nearest hunter, then shuffle this at the bottom. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we take these and we shuffle the cards. So the behavior deck is very similar to my other board game, Hellboy. I think a lot of games that have this sort of AI controlled have a very similar mechanic. Just shuffle. And then the Riot goes. Move the Riot 6 hexes toward the nearest hunter, then make this attack. So he's going to move 6 hexes, and he can't cross through. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, he might be able to. So 1, 2, 3. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. He doesn't have enough to pivot, but as far as I'm concerned, he can choose a facing. So I'm going to choose the facing. I don't think that's the rules, but that's how I play. And 4 damage. But I discard this card when Dante suffers any damage to ignore all damage and move up to 2 hexes. So I discard it. I avoid all damage and move up to 2 hexes. Right here. And that ends my turn. I draw up to my hand size. There we go. And that's not too bad. All right. So I'm going to play this card, the Coyote Shot. Must be in 4 hexes. If they're equal distance, I get to choose 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to choose the Riot for this one. So the Riot's going to take 2, which brings him up to a total of 9. And I deal 1 damage to each target adjacent to the enemy, which gives him 1. Then I'm going to discard this card for 2 movement points. So I discard. For 2 movement points, I move 1, 2. Okay. I'm going to play Rebellion Strike, which gives him 3. So he's at 5, and he's stunned. And then we're going to finish him off with 3. Even though he's stunned, he doesn't take another stun. And he's dead. He gives me an orb, and he drops an orb. And now I have 5 orbs. Okay. Now, because this was a finisher, I have to claim my combo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cards is 4 points. Double it, I get 8. 1, 2, 8. So 41. So I discard my cards, but I claim back my basic ones. The rest get discarded. And now I can move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm just going to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I move down here. That ends my turn. And now it's the Impuzza's turn. Each Impuzza that is adjacent to a hunter turns and faces them, makes an attack. Otherwise, move each other Impuzza 2 hexes towards the nearest hunter. So this one's going to move 1, 2. And 1, 2. And the Riot. The Riot moves 4 hexes towards the nearest hunter. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. So now I draw up to my hand 4 more cards. It is now my turn. I'm starting a brand new combo. Let's see here. I think it'll be red based on what I have here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with Ebony and Ivory Volley. I get to move 1 hex before making the attack. So I shoot him. He's at 6. And then I'm going to discard this card, Helmbreaker, for 1 movement point. I move here. I'm going to go ahead and start with, is it red? No, I'm red. Balrog Strike, which is for 2. That kills him. Sorry, I've been playing this wrong. He's already dead. He's not 7. He's actually 5. Sorry. That's okay. So I gain 1. For some reason, I thought I was playing the red Impuzzas from the last level. Regular Impuzzas only have a health of 5. So that's okay. Honestly, if anything, I'm just making it more challenging for myself. So he dropped in 2 orbs. I picked up 1. And now I want to discard this card for 1 movement point. And I'll move here and face him. I pick up the orb. I'm going to play Balrog Blow. I'm going to move over here. It allows me 1 movement. No, sorry. It's 1 attack. So that's 1. I get to move up to 2 hexes. 1, 2. I make the attack again for another 1. And then I'm going to do Balrog kick. He's going to take 2 more. So he's at 4. Sorry, 4 damage. So now he's at a total of, what is that? 9, 10, 13. And he gains another stun token. And I push him back, I guess, I push him back 1. And I follow him. Like that. Okay? Now, I'm going to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm moving 5. I have a feeling he's going to attack me this round, so I'd only be losing 1 point. So I'm just going to leave it. I'll take my chances. Okay, so Impuza goes. Claw swipe. So he's going to move 1, 2. And the Riot is going to move 5, then make this attack. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so he has enough to come to me and make the attack for 3. So here's where I discard this for 1 damage avoidance or 1 dodge, and because of my Royal Guard, I actually get 2. So right now, I take 1 damage out of that 3. So my 8 health, I have 7 now. Alright, so I lose my combo, or my chain, so I reclaim my basic attack cards, put this back, and that ends the round. I draw up to my hand, and here we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with Rebellion Swing. And that does, we're just going to count, well, let's just do 1. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and we'll do Rebellion Sweep for 2 more. And what are we at now? 15, we are at 16. So let's just quickly, 9, 12, 15. Sorry, 15, 16. There you go. Okay, so we're at 16 out of the 25. We are going to play Rebellion Cut Right for another 2. And it pushes him back, and I follow. And then I'm going to play this Ebony Ivory. So that's 1, and I get to move a hex, so 1. And then I get to move another hex, 2. And then I play this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. No adjacent enemies to damage, so that's 4 damage, and I get, and that's it. He's within 4 range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. 5, 6, 7. I get to move 1 hex, and I move here. These are ranged attacks, which is why I'm able to move away. Okay, so I move up there instead. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 7 damage. 7. Is that enough? Let's see. Let's add these up. Yes, it's enough. 10, 20, 3, 24, 25. So the Riot is dead. So he's off the board. Oh, that was fun. Better than I expected. So we take the Riot's cards and remove them. I have used up all my cards, so I actually have no cards for defense. And I can actually move. I haven't even done my movement yet. So had I not been able to, if the Riot was still on the board, I still have 5 movement points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get further away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but he'd still be within range. So the board layout is enough that larger characters can probably, if they're somewhere in the center, they can probably still reach you. So I have the option now. I can claim my combo or leave it, and I'm actually going to leave it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, that's not bad. So the right's gone. I can still move, and I still have movements. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to just move up here like this. And just move up there. And that's it. That ends my turn. So the only thing left is for the Impuza to go. The Impuza moves 3 hexes towards the nearest hunter, then makes this attack. So he's going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. He's going to face me. He doesn't have an attack. So now I drop to my hand 1. Have to shuffle my deck. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I drop to my hand, and it is now my turn. So he's only taking 5 hits, so this should be pretty easy. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to play Charged Volley again, so that's 3 damage to him. That's 4. And I can move up to 1 hex before making an attack. I'll move over here. And then I play Ebony Ivory Volley for 1 more attack, and he's dead. So I don't get a chance to pick up the orbs. I don't even remember where he was. I think he was over here. That's it. So I can keep these cards or discard them now that it's done. But this round is over, and I am going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know what? I can get 1 more. So I'm actually not going to claim this combo. I don't have to, and I'm just going to leave it. But I will, let's see, discard these 2 cards before my next hand draw. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that now ends around. I have collected a total of 7 orbs. Not too much compared to my usual, but that's okay. I think in my last few gameplays, I've actually managed to purchase all the cards. So, especially as a solo, I think when you're playing with more than 1 player, the distribution, it depends. I think there's as they increase the number of demons on the board, it also increases the number of orbs. So it might actually work out. So that ends level 1. And I'd be going on to level 2. So you can see I would have 2 Scudo Angelos and 6 Impuzas with 3 achievement cards. For the sake of gameplay, I think you pretty much have the idea. I'd be facing off on them. The Scudo Angelos have an ability to guard themselves against defense, which reduces any damage. Each and every attack reduces the damage by 1. So they basically take a little bit longer, and they're only susceptible. Well, you can attack them from behind. So there's a Scudo Angelo example. Let's see if we get a nice look on there. And I think what I might do is, given the amount of time that's gone by, I might just go skip to the boss. So I'm going to skip this, and I'm going to bring out, let's just say I went through level 2, and now I would be at the final level, which is the level with the boss. And you always will encounter the same boss, at least with this core box. There are expansions that provide a bit of variety. You can have a few different bosses to fight. But those expansions, you know, they cost, I think, maybe $60 for each expansion. There's the, I forget what it's called, heavy artillery expansion or something like that. And there's a variety of additional enemies to play. So we're going to bring out, I forgot what his name is, the Elder Garon Knight. And he is the massive, the extra large figure. He takes up, I think, 6 hexes, 7. And he always starts in the middle, and he always starts facing the nearest hunter. So we're going to pull this out. Set the Garon Knight so that it's facing the nearest hunter. So we're going to do that. And we are going to pull out our achievements. There is one specific achievement that you do get, which is Demon Slayer. So Demon Slayer is always out there, gives you 10 bonus points if you, well, once you slay him. And like I said, in this game, you really never die, you never really lose, you just keep on battling your way until you finally get through it all. And at the end of it, it's just whether or not you scored a lot of style points. So I'm going to pull out some additional achievements that I can have, potentially. Okay, so there's 6. And we'll pull out the Garon Knight, his card. I'll put this up here. And for him, he has, depending on the player count, up to 75 health. So for one player, it's 45, and he cannot be stunned, and he reduces damage from each attack by 1 to a minimum of 1. So all your attacks are guaranteed 1 damage. Okay, so I've got his behavior cards. I'm going to shuffle those really quick. So I know I'm skipping one of the levels, but the gameplay is obviously, you can tell by now, is very similar. And really the only difference is coming down to this guy who's pretty massive. Now, I am able to purchase some additional cards, 7 orb worth of cards. And let's see here, 7, right? I get this one for 2, 4, 7. And I'm going to put them in my deck. I'm going to shuffle. Now I'm ready to go. Now remember, everything carries forward, so I have a good chain going on here. And we get to go. So I continue with blue. So I'm going to discard this card for 1 movement. I'm going to discard, oh no, maybe not. Maybe, oh sure. Discard this card to look through your deck and choose a card. So we're gonna take a look here. I think I want that charged shot again. Where is it? Right here. Let's try to make a nice charge blast. Add that to my hand. And he is in 1, 2, 3, 4. This is within 4. I'm going to do charged blast for 4. And then I am going to, I think that's all I'm going to do. Or should I play this one too? Well, I max out. I'm at 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I don't have a combo finisher, so I'm going to claim this combo. So it's 10, which gives me 10 style points. So I'm at 51. I claim back my basics, and I'm going to put these in my discard pile. So I've done the claim. So now I have a couple options. I can hold on to these just in case, and I think I will, but I'm going to move. I'm going to move. Oh gosh, I don't really know where to move. So he's equal distance, so I'm moving back. Okay. So let's see. Do I claim anything here? Slay the boss, at least 4 enemies. None of these really apply to me because I think you have to get rid of the challenge ones. The challenge ones are usually multiple when you have more than one demon, and I don't. So let me draw another set here. Nope, that's a challenge as well. Or not challenge, but there's one. There's 2. Here's 1. Here's 1. And here's 1. And did I claim? I claimed this one because I had 8 cards in my combo chain. So I claimed that. Okay, now it's the Garon Knight's turn. Move the Garon Knight 8. Hexes passing through occupied hexes. It must not end within 3 hexes of a hunter. If this is not possible, the Elder Garon Knight must end its movement away from each hunter as far as possible, then draw another card. So he's going to move away. Let's just move away 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he moves away as far as possible. Draw another card. Now he moves 8 hexes towards the nearest hunter and makes his attack. So he's moving 8. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's moving right here. But he's not close enough to me. And that would have been 8 damage. If that was 8 damage, I would be able to block 5. So, there we go. So I drop to my hand. 1, 2. There's one card that the Garon Knight has, which is he heals 5. And it sucks when he does that, but eventually you do beat him. Okay, so I want to play Ebony Ivory. I'm moving in 1. He takes 1 damage. I'm just going to total it here. I'm going to play Rebellion Strike. So that's 2 damage. And then I'm going to play this one for 3. And play this one for 3. He cannot be stunned, so it doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to play this one for 4. And that's it. So that gives me what? 9, 10, 12? So 12. Plus the 3 that's here, that's 6. So I'm at 16. See all the change I gotta make every time? It is kind of annoying doing that, but now I have a choice. I can hold on to my defense, keep my chain. We'll try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to move 5 over here. He's guaranteed to hit me. He is going to guarantee to hit me, and I might lose my chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will claim this combo. That gives me 2. So I'll take these back. Discard these. And now it's his turn. He's going to move the Garon Knight 6 hexes towards the nearest hunter, and end his movement with as many hunters in the front arc, then make this attack. So he's gonna move 1, 2, 3. Okay, and let's see. I get 3, 4. Here we go. So that gives me 5 damage. So I'm discarding 1, 2, 3, plus my Royal Guard, 4. So I take 1. And that's it for this round. I draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In that last round, did I get anything? I did. I got this one, hard hitter. Okay. Okay, so sure, I'll hold on to these. Okay, I'm going to start with my rebellion swing. So he takes one. I'm going to do rebellion left cut for 2. I'm going to do another 2 with the coyote shot. I'm going to do my ebony ivory. I get to move 1 hex before making this attack. And that's for 1. So that's 3 now. And I want to do a finisher. I'll do a finisher. So for an additional 3. And I push him back. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 gives me 2 points. Double it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm now at 57. Now keep in mind I am skipping a level, so I probably would be maybe at 70 instead. So I claim my combo, discard my cards, and I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I move 5. There we go. So he has a total of 9. So he's at, what is it, 9. What is this? 9. So this is a 10. A 10 with a 5 left. Here we go. So I'm at 25 so far. And now it's his turn. Any adjacent hunters are knocked back 3 hexes, then move 5 hexes towards the nearest hunter and make the attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's actually moving this way. So he is not within range. He's just out. Okay, I'm lucky. I dropped my hand. Okay. And, ooh. I don't know what to do. There's not a lot. Not a lot I can do here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, well, I guess I'll do this one. I'm going to start off with that to do 1 damage. Then I'm going to do this one for 2. So I move in 1 right here. Then I'm going to move my 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And move all the way over here. So he takes 2. So he's at 27. And then I'm going to discard this for 3 movement points. 1, 2, 3. And I will hold on to these cards. I'm not going to claim. We'll see what happens. Oh, turn the Garon Knight so that has as many hunters as possible in the front arc, then make this attack, targeting the closest 3 hunters, and then shuffle. So he's going to turn. He's in the front arc, and he does 6. And I'm discarding these 2. I discard this card to dodge 2 damage made by an enemy in my front arc. And then he suffers 2 damage. I dodge this one to dodge 4. So he takes 4 damage. And then technically, and then I dodge 1 more. So I've dodged a total of 4 plus my royal guard, which is 5. Which is 5. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 1 is 6. So I ignored all of his damage, and we have to shuffle his deck. Here we go. That was actually a good play, so I didn't lose my my combo. And here we go. So now I'm going to draw up to my hand because that ends the round. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. And in that round, did I have anything? Not really. Okay. So now we can continue on, and let's just do a quick total here. He has 8, 9, 10, 11. So we are currently at 31 out of his 45. $31 out of his 45. So as you can see, as a solo player, you're basically chipping away. Is it the most exciting game? No, but I can see its value. I can see that it is fun just sort of navigating your way, trying to build the biggest combo. And for a solo player, you're basically trying to get your highest score. So far, my highest has been, I think, 101 style points. So it has its place. I wouldn't say this is my go-to game every time, but I do enjoy the mechanics of playing the cards for defense, having a little bit of strategy or tactic, and balancing what you play and what you keep. Moving into my turn now, we have not exactly the cards I would want to look for, but I think I'm going to hold on to this. I think I know what I want to do. 1, 2. And play Balrog? Sure. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I can't really get in close enough. So I'm going to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm moving right here. I pick up that orb. At this point, picking up orbs doesn't really matter because this is the final stage. Once you complete this, it's not like you can purchase any more upgrades to your cards. I will discard this card for 1 movement, or for 2 movements. So I'll move here. So he's at the front of my arc. And I will play my Rebellion Cut Right, which gives him 2 damage. So he's now at 33, and it pushes him back 1, and I follow up 1. And then I would like to claim my combo, but there's really nothing to claim. So I think I'll just stop there, and that end my turn. So Garon Knight's gonna activate. Hunters adjacent to the Garon Knight are knocked back 3 hexes, then move 5 hexes towards the nearest hunter and makes its attack. So I'm knocked back 3, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, he knocks me back. He moves up to 5, so he moves right in, and he's doing in 6 damage to me. I am discarding this card when Dante suffers any damage to ignore all the damage suffered and move up to 2 hexes. So I discard that, and I ignore all damage and I move up to 2, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stay right there. So that ends the Garon Knight. I'm going to discard these 2 cards, and I'm going to draw up to my hand for 5. And now it's my turn. So hopefully I have a blue here. I do, but not quite what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to play Rebellion Cut Left. And he takes 2, so he's at 35 damage. And he gets knocked back 1. I follow up 1. And I think at this point I'm going to have to claim my combo. So I have 4, and I get 1 style point. Not much. but I reclaim my basic attacks. And here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start my chain with a Balrog Strike. So he's taking 2. What am I missing? I need 10, right? He's at 35. I need 10 points. Let's see if I can do it. So I got 2. And then I play Balrog Kick for another 2. Knocks him back. I follow up. That's another 2. So that's 4. And then I'm playing Balrog Kick again. The stun is ignored because the Garon Knight cannot be stunned. So I take another 2 hit. Oh, I think I realize what I've been doing wrong. So he actually reduces all the damage by 1. So I actually have been doing this all wrong. And I apologize for that. He would have, yeah, so technically it's 1, 2, 3. He gets 3, and then I do a finisher, which would give me 2, so he's at a total of 5. That was a bad mistake. I didn't pay attention, so now I'm at 40, but I claim this combo, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it is 2 points. So I'm at 60. And I claim the combo, which means this gets collected and discarded. And we'll put this one with here. So he's at 40 now. So I played it wrong in the sense that all my attacks, I should have decreased all my each attack by 1 to a minimum of 1, and I forgot about that. Tells you how often I play this game. So we'll just roll with it. The bottom line is not the rules of the mechanics, but seeing how the gameplay unfolds. So all I have is just this card left, and it would be now the Garon Knight's turn, and he plays each hunter within 3 hexes suffers 4 damage. The hunter adjacent to the Garon Knight is knocked back 2 hexes and remove 10 damage from the Garon Knight. So, what was unfair in terms of my scoring? This is karma. So, I take 4 damage, so I'm now at 6 out of my 8. I get knocked back 1, 2, and he heals 10. I think I had said he heals 5, but he actually heals 10. So that ends the demon turn. So I'm shuffling my cards so I can draw up a new hand. I think I will discard this card that I had. So I'm going to discard that one into my pile so I draw a brand new set. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go, my turn. Okay, this is pretty good. I just have to remember now. Okay, so we're going to play Charge Volley first. Move up to 1 hex before making this attack. He's going to take 2. I'm going to play Charge Blast. He's going to take 3. So that's 5 now. I'm going to play Ebony and Ivory Volley, which is a minimum of 1, even though it's reduced by 1, so it's 1, and I move forward. And here's where I start my combo string. So I'm going to take 1, and then 2, and then another 2, Another 2 would get me 6 in total, right? So, what does that get me? That gets me 11. So I'm at 41. Right? So let's tally that up. 5, 8, 10, 11. So he is at 41. And I'm going to claim my combo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 gives me 3. 1, 2, 3. So I'm at 63. And return the basic cards to my hand. I discard these ones. And I'm going to continue by doing basic strike 1. Now I can't claim this combo. And then I'm going to start with my Balrog strike, which is another 1. And then I'm going to use Rising Dragon, which will give me 2. So that's 4. 4 damage. And I claim this combo at the end, and I double style points. There's only 3 cards. 3 cards get you 0 points, so this doesn't do anything. But my 4 damage that I do, plus the 1, is 5, and that takes me to 45. So Garo Knight is dead. So he's been defeated. Now I'm sure at some point, given my miscalculations of the previous attack damage, I probably may have died once. And I'm already at 6, so I was pretty close. I think I forgot to explain that, let's just say I was defeated. I would, my current style tracker is in the, what is it? What level? SS? Which is, I forgot what the terminology is. Their names for these are really, really funny. Apocalyptic, Slayer, or Smokin', and I don't think it's relevant at this point. Six skills. That's where I'm at right now. I'm at 6 skills. And it would knock me back, not to the beginning of 6 skills, but it would take me back to Savage if I died. And then, on my next turn, I would respawn onto the board anywhere I wanted. So that's something that I missed during my previous explanation. So when you get, ultimately, you never die. You never get knocked out of the game completely. You die, you come back, you can die, you can come back. The only consequence of that is you'll continue to get knocked down a grade of your style points, and the ultimate goal is to have the highest style points that you can possibly get, especially when you have other players that you're semi-competing with. So here, I'm done. I had 6 health, survived. I have 3, did I get, oh, and I get the Demon Slayer for slaying the boss. So that gives me 16, 18. 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that brings me up to 81. 81 style points, considering I skipped one of the levels. One of the gripes, and I actually do agree with it, is for the type of game that this is, it flows smoothly, but it goes slowly during your turn because you're constantly dropping orbs, picking up orbs, calculating the health. You know, if you're looking at your cards and you're trying to figure out how to draw the best chain and then place yourself and be in the proper position during your turn, that eats up a lot of time. And then if you think of other players on that were, you know, if there were other players here, you'd have even more downtime in between. So this game can run quite long, going through 4 levels, considering the nature of this game, which is supposed to be a quick hack and slash. So I enjoy what I really enjoy about it is the mechanics of playing the cards and trying to string a combo, taking that risk and seeing if it pays off. So that basically ends it. If for people who want to sort of have a faster game, you could easily just not include a level, just like I did in this game. Had I include level 2, I'd have an extra maybe half hour, 45 minutes added to the total runtime so far. And obviously I was not playing the boss correctly with the way I'm attacking, so that could have extended the time as well. But you saw that he does heal 10. At some point he would have reshuffled his deck and possibly heal another 10 at some point. So it really depends on the luck of the draw. So in terms of replayability, it depends. You've got multiple levels to choose from. You can increase the difficulty for yourself by moving up one level than recommended. So you can start off with a level 2 and then a level 3 and then a boss. If you really want to, you can add a level to it. So start level, level 1, level 2, level 3, and then the boss. So there's a couple different ways that you can increase the difficulty, have some replayability, try different characters, ultimately trying to, if your longest combo chain was 10 cards, try to beat it next time, or try to get as high of a style score as you can. So there's different ways to challenge yourself playing solo. You can get the expansions, which adds more enemies to the mix and provides even more variety. So there is definitely some replayability here. And I think that what brings me back to this game is the idea of this hand management, risk take, and combo chaining system to try to one up yourself on each play that you do. So that was Devil May Cry, The Bloody Palace, the board game. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay bored.